Bye.
While this starts up, the charging port, the video output, and the headphone port are on the bottom right of the screen section. The charging port is standard Android style USB charger, and there's one included in the box. On the left side, you have three buttons. One large button is a volume rocker, up and down volumes. The other button is the Windows button. These are mostly useful if you have it separated from the key. All right. Should I repeat myself? Go ahead. All right.
Speak up.
Very good.
Jeez Louise. Speak up.
All right. So once you get to the splash screen, turn it on. Alright, you'll have a login screen, and currently your login information is in the little white section of your folio. That's a temporary password. You'll want to change it at some point, but for tonight, just go with it.
You want us to log in?
Yeah, we're just going to quickly show you in Windows where you can use the software. The accounts that you're using to sign in were set up by the Borough. It's a Microsoft account that includes email with Apple.com. So if you want, you can use your own email instead, but you know that Virginia is distributing the packets and notifications to that email. it'll be quick once we get going.
Hey, is your new view on?
But we had no coke.
Yeah. Tonight, we're using the Wi-Fi downstairs, which is the Borough office. In future, we'll have wireless access right up here to provide you guys with better Wi-Fi coverage. It's only a couple of bars. It's right up here.
That's counterproductive.
What else did I do?
Well, it's so when you go down, at least you see, you know what you know what the
It still has no project. I'm just wondering, you don't have a power up here. Just take that.
I do not. I do. Very true.
This won't be an issue. Well, pretty much done. I just wanted to cover.
While we did this, but
For now, okay, so for the most part, you guys are in.
Some kind of, it was this, the second wall.
Includes a list of files that are prepared by Borough. It's basically the same stuff that's in your packet right now, but what we will eliminate is access.
so like very soft.
Sorry.
Right.
When you're in Windows and you open the box icon, you have a list of files right now.
Sorry.
Packet.
The other Terry stopped spoken, but there's a lot of other noise, I'm sorry. Okay, so council needs access using the box, that's where everything will come in.
Right.
Instead of we're eliminating the Friday packets, so this is all.
Yeah, I think
So
we'll
we
be going
said,
for.
I understand that in 2 weeks, we'll get hard copies and we'll also have access sent to our
That's correct. And if you have any trouble with that, you can get in touch with Tom, Virginia, or yourself. So just a couple of quick tips about Windows 8. You have to use the port. If you, the number one tip is when in doubt, hit the Windows key. That'll get you right back out to the start screen and push that start screen. Besides that, if you swipe in from the left side, it will change the application that you're running. It's not doing it to me right now, but I guess I just have this one thing open. And if you swipe it from the right side, that gets you the settings bar and also the search thing. And this is really useful because this is where you shut it down. To shut it down, you hit settings and power, and then that's where you have shutdown and restart options. This thing does need to be charged. It's a laptop, but it does have pretty good battery life because it's very low power. And charging port is on the right side of the screen, and it's the largest of the plugs there, and you've got a charger in a box. I think that about wraps it up. Obviously, you guys will have some questions. Just make sure you've got my card.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
You're pretty good.
We'll have the,
As far as I know, yes. Box.com is set up to be known for you. You're able to get on that, so you should be getting something else. Yeah, it's got the office number on the back.
next we'll have the hearing of the public. First one, Mr. Farrell.
So it's pretty good. Give me a control on which one takes the charge.
I don't want to break it up.
I think that's
Sorry.
Um,
Would you mind just and then give it back up?
I don't want to break it mine.
William Farrell, 347 North Pennsylvania Avenue. Get over to pleasant things first. I'd like to thank Mrs. Sherlock and Mrs. Kenny. I did get a copy of that ruling you had. I read it. I understand it. I had it checked out. I do have a problem with it, but that's beside the point.
That's what you're
Right.
Okay.
Okay, like I said, I got a problem, but that's not my expertise. A couple things first. Do you have is there an update, anything on Cornerstone? And the pool. I couldn't make that special meeting, rather than I had to have a special meeting about what they were going to do with the pool. I heard they're going to make the garden 80 or 80, whatever you call it. I looked on the agenda tonight. I don't see anything about Facebook on it tonight. The last monthly meeting, Facebook was spoke about, and all hell broke loose. There was 5 or 6 people talking. I don't know what the hell was going on myself. I was trying to figure out who shot John. I was going crazy. Well, I don't think that Facebook had any business being brought up when it did at the end of the meeting. There was no reason for that. I'm not on Facebook. I don't know what goes on. I could care less. But I do have a problem. I consider myself a good judge of people. Some people don't think I am. But I have my standard. And I thought it was a great meeting. We had audience participation. Screaming at her, screaming at him, screaming at her, screaming at him. That's the way you act. I thought it was funny. I'm laughing myself because I enjoy that. Because it created controversy. Mr. Chronicle, I've watched you since you've been on the board. watched a lot of people over the years. The jury's out on you right now. I haven't made my decision, but I have some thoughts which I want to share. What you said about you have an email, if somebody wants an email, you will answer them. I think that's nice, but you'll never get an email from me. You get an email by me looking in your eyes and asking you a question. You answer it, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But I'll be back again and again and again. I'm persistent.
That's good.
I'm from the old school. If I have something to say to you, I will come and look at you eyeball to eyeball and say it to you. I won't write it on Facebook and call myself Mickey Dingleback and say anything about it. That's the problem. This is called social media. But at least on Facebook, you have to put a name, a profile, they call it. But I don't do that. Because I've been mentioned on blogs in this town. And people have mentioned me, my family, my sons, and he signed it anonymous. If you look at a dictionary on anonymous, to the extreme right, you'll find the word coward. I put it that way. Because if you can't give your name, because you're afraid of legal stuff, then don't say it. Basically, that's it. The only thing is I have a somewhat warped sense of humor with some of the stuff I say. But I go back, and I'll give you my French version. I look at people, I watch them, I analyze them in my mind. Some people have their head where their derriere should be. That's the French version. And some people have their derriere where their head should be. I hope you understand. I know you probably understand what I'm talking about, because that's what's wrong with this world. Other than that, have a good summer, the rest of the summer, whatever. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Mr. John Wild.
John Wild, 94 West Maple. I came in tonight just because I was encouraged by seeing that there was going to be a presentation of technology. I think it's a great move, something the council has long needed to do. So I hope this means that council will have official emails that we can use.
So John, could you talk just a little bit louder?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sure. I usually have a big mouth. I apologize. I hope that the fact that everyone's getting tablets means that official borough emails for council members is in the works. That would be really nice now that we've got tablets. The presentation is kind of embarrassing. You should have been presented the tablets and then a small training session outside of an official borough meeting could have taken place. This was bad, or at least put a presentation up on the wall, because everybody, you have varying levels of understanding up there, and there were some people with deer in headlights, well, it's like, what's a tablet? It's just,
But I understand your point.
I hope so, because it was actually,
Well, we would have had an advertised special meeting coming, or this came in very late.
you don't need a special training to learn how to use this tablet.
No.
Then that's what I'm
We're
talking
talking about a
about.
special meeting if it wasn't within these parameters of this meeting.
You're misunderstanding what I'm saying, so let me backtrack. Presentation of the tablets, great idea. Training everybody and holding up a tiny little tablet that you can't see from your desk, trying to say this is Windows and this is what it does. Not good. That should have been in a small group. That should have been in a small group. Everybody can stand around the table and actually see for themselves and ask questions to the trainer. Doing it here. But anyway, I think it's great that you guys are going forward with technology. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Jane Berger?
Good evening, Jane Berger, 90 West Maple Avenue. A comment on the bill this evening. GL 1406, list all the expenses, bills to be paid by fund, as normally is done. and so does the section that says checks issued since the last meeting. However, GL 1407 was just a straight alpha list and didn't break the bills out by fund. So just point that out to you that for next month you might take care of that.
Did you start over with your question?
Okay, you have a bill list.
Correct.
Okay, the first section of bills are GL 1406.
Correct.
And all the bills are listed by fund, general, library, etc. Okay. At the back, there's the section checks issued since last meeting. That also has them by fund. The bill section in the middle, which is called GL 1407, is just a straight alpha list. And I looked through and I couldn't find where they were broken out by fund, general, whatever. There is a summary at the back, but that's a comment to look at that, and I'm sure that can be easily taken care of. Second item, and I'm not sure, Madam President, you received it yet, but PSAB has a resolution that is opposing the expansion of the federal control of the Clean Water Act. I'm not sure if that's come into the borough yet. If you have a copy, I'd be glad to read that with you to look at. You might check with Chris Cap or somebody out there. That really gives far-reaching powers to the federal government over a lot of local waters and streams that would be to the detriment of the borough. Once again, creeping federal government. The other thing I want to address this evening is the borough fee schedule, specifically zoning fees. They were first increased in 2012 from $450 to $1,000 residential, and they added $2,500 for non-residential. In 2014, those fees respectively were increased to $1,500 and $3,000. Now, all fees are to be reasonable and reflect actual costs. And as I said before, I do not believe these fees are justified. While it's understood the borough will refund any amount of fee that was not actually used, residents should not have to pay any more upfront in the application than is necessary. High zoning fees, in effect, often act as a deterrent for individuals to properly seek zoning relief. Over the last 20 years, there's not been a plethora of applications for zoning. And in fact, since you increased the fees in January 12 to December 13, there were no applications for the zoning board. I've been to almost all the zoning board meetings since 1993, and I can say that none of those actions required more than one meeting of the zoning board. I mention that because in a prior council meeting, it was stated that part of the justification for the higher non-residential fee somehow involved the need for the zoning board to meet more than once. Under the right to know law, I received a copy of the schedule of costs for zoning fees for 2014. And the minimum for these totaled $1,037. It included $390 as a base for the zoning solicitor. I also requested and received in the right to know a copy of the charges for the non-residential applicant that appeared before the zoning board in December 2nd, 2013. Those charges were $1,589.06, and they included $688.60 for the zoning solicitor legal fees. The Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code, called MPC, Article 6, Zoning, Section 617.3E, and I'll give you this information, states the governing body may prescribe reasonable fees with respect to the administration of the zoning ordinance, respect to hearings before the board. Fees for these hearings may include compensation for secretary and members of the zoning board, notice and advertising, necessary administrative overhead, like with the hearing. The cost, however, shall not include legal expenses of the zoning board, expenses for engineering, architecture, or other technical consultants or expert witness costs. Therefore, the $688 and change charged for the solicitor fees to the applicant at the December 2, 2013 meeting needs to be refunded because that's not an allowable cost. I would appreciate that council would review the current zoning fee schedule, prepare proper amendments, reducing the fees to more accurately reflect the true cost, a reasonable fee, since you cannot charge solicitor fees to the applicant for the zoning hearing. Doing this action certainly brings your costs well below both the residential and the non-residential fees being currently charged. Thank you. I am confident that the council does not want to charge any fees that violate the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code law.
Thank you. No one else is listed on this list. I think is there anyone else? Okay. Public section is closed.
Yeah, it wasn't, so if we go back and make sure, just double check, but I did that one, that's come up for vote.
Let's have that first, so maybe we get through these first. And, put on the next agenda. The first one is 6A, it's a Morrisville Borough Council regular meeting, March 17th, 2014. Have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second motion.
Questions or comments on the motion?
Yes, I have one. Nietzsche, I had drawn up a memo with some corrections and taken it down to Virginia, and she was going to have them look into correcting in the draft, and I got the new draft, and things were not corrected. Did anyone look at it?
Yes, we looked at it, listened to every word that you said is in this current page. It was very difficult, but on page, what was that, page 3 and 18, I think you said?
Yeah, page 3. Some of those sentences are almost like there's parts are missing, because I watched it on YouTube. I watched the actual DVD, and I had earphones on and could hear it very clear, and that's how I found this. I typed it up, and what you have still isn't what I have down there. She's taken it from the audio, correct? We don't have the video system working?
From the audio.
And I know it's hard because there were 3 conversations going on at the same time I was speaking, so I went over several times, but it definitely isn't what I see typed in there.
Well, I'd like to move forward on these. If you wish not to vote on them, that would be fine, but this was verbatim what you said. And in fact, I have a copy of what you said, and
Yeah, I have
I
it.
actually bring that with me tonight to compare back and forth. When there was one where you said the word "the" was missing in front of the word "council." But the word "the" wasn't there.
When you read that, and those sentences are run together like that, that makes sense to you when you read that?
Well, it might not make sense, but that's what I said, and that's how it's going to be.
Because it is not, when I looked at the DVD, there were words that are missing, so it makes it sound jumbled. I mean, if you want to put it in there, but it makes it like the person that does our minutes incompetent. But, so be it, that's the way it be. I'll vote on that, because I don't agree with that. I asked
We
you to.
will vote on March 17th.
Mr. Cicero.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson. Yes. Mr. Carter.
Yes.
Mr. Porter.
Yes.
Mr. Sandler.
No.
No.
Here, Ms. Sherlock.
Yes. Motion carries 5-2. Next, we have 6B, Marshall Borough Council Special Meeting, April 9th, 2014. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second motion.
Questions or comments on these minutes?
Yes, we didn't get a draft of the changes. I also sent a attachment. Did you get that from Virginia?
So no one has April 9th minutes here? Thank you. What you say?
Yes, I didn't get an attachment, no. So have you approved the draft, so we can get it?
Well, we didn't have a draft, we approved it, so we're moving on now, so I guess there'll be space right now.
No, there's no draft. I had, once again, sent an attachment to Virginia, she acknowledged she got it, and I told her that I also think it up, plus I have looked at the video, and the motions are not anything that was actually spoken, and the motions themselves have to be correct. Like, for instance, on our actual first page of the who attended the meeting, it was Barbara Burley who was there that night, not Sean Kenny. So,
That's Barbara Burrow.
yeah, and Sean.
It was Angelica, Barbara Brown, you, Barbara Brown.
No,
Alice, I'm sorry.
It was Alice.
It was Alice.
There's another girl from the office. Alice McDonald.
So I thought there was change for me, I apologize, you don't have it, and the reason I have to continue to talk about them, we're not gonna vote on it.
Okay, so we're gonna get a new draft.
There's a new draft. So now we're gonna, we'll make that an 8 since we're not going to be, motion to approve the Morrisville Borough Council regular meeting. Can you take them off?
So why don't you withdraw those?
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Next, we have Morrisville Borough Council regular meeting of June 16, 2014. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Questions or comments on this motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Next, we have our manager's report.
Okay, met with E.J. Thompson, who's at my house, Risk Management Services, about our insurance issues. Our property and auto insurance premiums are going to be about $20,000 this year. Johnson Controls, the asbestos abatement is complete. The old boiler is removed. The new boiler has arrived and is in the basement but not installed yet. Traffic light upgrades or materials are 100%, labor is 100%, so they are 100% complete. Building lighting, all materials have arrived and they are 90% complete in all the buildings. Street lights are 90% complete also. Just so I can calm everybody down, street lights, they had a problem with photocells. Originally, they put some of the old photocells in to get them to work, and then they got the new photocells, and some of the new photocells, out of 620, 50 of the new photocells were defective. Okay. Now, let me explain something. When you see a light that's on and doesn't go off, our bill, there are no meters on the electric street lights. Okay? So we're not paying any extra for that. Or no meter. We are not metered there. We are under, like, PICO bills us for 620 lights to be on from dusk to dawn. And that's how they bill us. If the light's on all day, we don't get billed for any extra. So don't worry about if the light's on until we get our new photocells. And we're not getting charged to replace the photocells. They're replacing them. They're under warranty. Another thing is you have to understand, until our street lights are 100% complete, we do not get the energy rebate. So we do not tell PICO that we are only using 40% of the electric. So we're still getting charged for the normal bill for our electric. So we will get our rebate when the project for the street lights is 100% complete. We already told PICO that our traffic lights are 100% complete. We also told PICO that one of our buildings was 100% complete, but this one is not yet. The windows here will be installed in August. The video system here, the new video system here with new microphones and cameras and everything else will be installed from August till September. From the end of the August meeting to the beginning of the September meeting. The pool, Jim, our engineer, will give, when he gives his report, we'll tell you about the pool, what's going on with that, and he'll also tell you about the replacement of the drain pipe. Also, I received a letter today from Mr. Cook, who represents the police department, and they have dropped the labor charges against us, the unfair labor charges, for not getting triple time and a half. Okay. That's because we're going to pay them. We agreed to pay them the double time and a half plus their holiday until the end of the year, and we will settle that in the contract.
We agreed because of the arbitrator.
We agreed with the arbitrator. We went to Harrisburg, and that was the settlement. I got a letter today that the the police association has dropped the charges against us for not paying them double time and a half, plus their holiday. So we just got that letter today. That's the end of my report.
No report, Mr. President.
You want to come to the microphone, please?
Good evening. I'm Jim Majewski with Remington Vertical Beach Engineers. And at the direction of the borough manager, I was tasked with looking at the buildings that are there at the pool complex for what they could possibly be used for or whether they had any issues with them. We did check them out, and the building that houses the bathrooms and the pump house, those buildings are in poor condition, and looking at possible reuse, since they're not heated, they don't have electric in them, we thought it would probably be best to demolish that along with the pool and use the concrete block from the buildings as part of the backfill material in the pool. We did look at the concession building. That is in better shape. The roof is in better shape. It does have asbestos material in the roof, and prior to any replacement or upgrade of the roof, that asbestos would need to be remediated. We also looked at possible reuse of the canopy that's located between the concession building and the pump house building. The structure there is in good shape. It's freestanding. It's not connected to these structures, and that could actually be reused. The steel's in decent shape, just needs to be sanded up and repainted. And I think one of the thoughts was that maybe that could be a canopy used for picnic tables underneath. The concrete in that area is deteriorated and needs to be fixed, or possibly concrete put over the top of it just to create a newer level surface in that area. In order to demolish the pool, which is an attractive nuisance and liability hazard, they'd have to penetrate the bottom of the pool to break it up so that water can go through into the ground, or from the ground come up through the holes. And then the walls would be taken down so that a minimum of 2 feet of the pool would have bare earth, so you wouldn't have any debris within 2 feet of the surface of the pool. I'm not sure if anyone has any questions on that.
Yeah, I have a question. You were talking about trying to sell the facility in wall areas.
Can't hear you, Tom.
No. Like around the perimeter of the pool, and I understand what you're saying, taking down the first 2 foot section, the walls around the perimeter of the pool. But then what do? You just go in there and cut the concrete slab?
Yeah, the concrete slab can be broken up with machines, jackhammers, and
What I'm
whatever.
saying is there any possibility of salvaging the slab that surrounds the perimeter of the pool?
And just keeping it in place?
That was the idea. That was the idea. We were
Yes, that's something that can be done, because that concrete is in good shape.
Right.
Part of it is. Part of it is deteriorated, and the parts that are deteriorated should be removed.
Thank you.
Yeah, one thing, if it's possible, we'd like council's permission to move ahead so we can demolish those buildings and start from just the buildings, those 2 buildings and concrete that is in bad shape, and start demolishing the pool. I think we've waited long enough. I mean, it was back in April we got the pool, and we've been waiting all this time. So we're going to do it. We better do it pretty soon.
So, Tom, are you suggesting that the engineer's recommendations, the council should just make a motion to issue clear guidance?
Yes.
I made a motion, we'll see what it is. We have some of the motion would be to,
Proceed demolition of the pool that.
For the engineer's recommendation.
Months ago.
yeah, take the money. Proceed. I use the word demolition because what happened was last time we had, this is one of the things that, was pointed out, that we had the word demolition then was changed to no demolition. So,
Because we didn't know at that time whether we could use it until.
And the engineer did say that the concession stand could be converted into an ADA bathroom. So that would be very
So we're
nice.
holding off on that one.
We're holding off on that concession stand, yes.
okay, a motion to proceed with the demolition of the pool to include the two,
As per the engineers.
as, you don't want to say which motion? Okay, as per the engineer's recommendation.
Are we including work on the pool itself in that?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm going to be specific, but not too specific. Okay, we'll just say as per the engineer's recommendation.
I have a question. Do we have a demolition plan for this? Just for that.
Well, just heard it. We're actually going to bust up that.
We have done the survey work to prepare a drawing. A permit is required from Bucks County Conservation District. And there's also a permit required from the DEP, which was the genesis of the necessity of doing an asbestos evaluation of buildings for.
And we did the asbestos evaluation over there.
That's correct.
And how long did you say that? We needed another, about a week, right? We could get another, as far as knocking the buildings down, right?
The plan can be ready to go to Bucks County Conservation District within a week. Typically, they take anywhere from 2 weeks to a month to review those plans, and then from there, we can go ahead and proceed.
Can I just ask a question? You said it was the bathrooms, the pump house, there's sort of another room attached to the pump house that people, when they come in, that's where the lifeguards, I guess, would go.
Well, that's,
Is that included in that? It's pretty much
Yes.
everything on that side.
Yes.
Okay. And when you say canopy, is that between that building and the bathrooms, or is that between that building and the concession stand?
Between that building and the concession stand.
Okay.
It's the steel canopy with steel beams.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, just one question. With the MEAC that we talked with, they were talking about, that botanical garden and saving that apron around the pool. I don't know if that would, we could take that out of the demolition.
we make that all a green area. Most of that concrete is in bad shape anyway. It's broken, it's tipped up and everything. If we knock that, use that to knock that into the pool and make it a total green area, then you can do anything you want. Then you can make gardens and do anything you want. But I think we gotta get it back to like, green area. Get rid of it.
Sorry, I have a question. Todd just asked a question about the concrete around the pool, but you said that some of that is still okay, so we're only getting rid of some of the concrete, not what's directly in the pool, correct?
But I would take your direction on that. We could get rid of all of it, or we could save whatever is in good shape.
Are you talking about the lip of the pool, or are you talking about the sidewalk? Okay.
Like the sidewalk that goes on, because the discussion of the mechanical garden, the easement of that part.
We're going to open it up in just a second.
Could I ask, in that sidewalk area, would be your recommendation that it could be repaired for the use of, where they want to put those raised beds, or they want to use it as ADA accessible for a wheelchair, or anyone just be able to walk around that? We can't fix that area around the pool, where you want to keep some of that concrete?
We can keep some of that area,
Would you say
and we could remove anything that's in very poor condition. And then you could always pour it slab in later.
Okay, so you'll make that recommendation also as to how bad any of that is, and go with that then, right? Whatever does need to come out, or,
That's correct.
okay, thank you.
Okay, does anyone have a question for Jim? Thank you, Jim. If you could take another couple minutes, maybe another question will come up.
Okay, and I also have one other thing to report. For the Williamson